A little bit of fog. Trees poking through it over there. And can't see them on the camera. There's stars. It's clear as can be, except for that fog over there. And oh, duckies flying over. And of course, you know, airplanes leaving their tracks. Looks like the water actually went down overnight. Didn't rain at all. So I'll bring you back on the other side of the barn where it's lighter. Hey, it looks better in the camera. I can see it better. Sort of. I don't know if you can hear. It sounds like a babbling brook. That means there's a little air gap under the bridge. So the water's making noise going through it. But it's gone down, well, to be there, it's gone down at least 2 feet since last night. It may come back up without any rain. It depends on the surge in the river and when it hits. If it hits. But yeah, just a little frog. And really foggy windows on a tractor. Yeah, I don't think anything's dry out here. It's flat out sopping wet. Just ask the cows. I'll bet they're wet too, even in there. Oh gee, 4 fairly dry dogs. And look at the floor. Except for where somebody took a drink of water and dribbled right there. And over there. Oh, and the hydraulic oil over there. I didn't do anything back here to dry things up because it's not like I can get to it. Even that cardboard's got some dry spots on it, and that cardboard was pretty soaked yesterday. So, glad it's that way. Not as it could be. There was something else. Oh, that's what I was going to say. That was without the furnace working either. We got 2 fuel tanks on the other side of the wall. 80-gallon tank that was the hydraulic tank on a feed truck. I need this tank. Cheers, everybody. And piggybacked on top of it as a reserve is a 50-gallon fuel tank off a reefer trailer. Well, I came in here this morning and I'm thinking, okay, it's colder this morning than it's been in the last almost week. And I'm gonna bump the stove up from what it was yesterday to help dry things out in here. Walked in and it's like, yeah, it needs to be bumped up. Inside that little crack, you can see that controller. Well, a little red light on that was on this morning. That means it ran out of fuel. I don't know what we're going to do today. I really don't. I'm thinking we really need to clean a bunch of shit up in here. And yeah, like there's Honda parts in boxes over there that need to go upstairs. Trash bags don't belong there. They belong in a cabinet. Trail cams that I should set up somewhere and use. They all need to go someplace besides where they're at. PVC pipe doesn't belong there. You know, all this stuff needs to get gone through and put away. That poor grease gun still needs to get cleaned up. It gets set on the bench. That's my only 20 volt. The other 2 are 18s. That one gets set on the frickin' bench. Then what happens on the bench? What do I do on the bench? What do I do at the vise all the time? Oh, you use a grinder. That's not good on it. It's not supposed to have a crew cut. It's supposed to be bald. So that needs to get cleaned up before it gets screwed up. Hopefully there isn't a bunch of little metal flakes inside the motor already. Found a monkey! I decided to clean this mess up, so here's how we're going to put the chargers. These 2 are actually made to hang. So they're hanging. hung this here. She wants a pair of dikes. Oh, now she's gonna. Oh, why'd she need dikes for? All she knew was that. That poor speaker's been up there since 1982.
No more.
Hey, they used to be a pretty good brand way back when. There's another one of these. Let's see. Oh.
Upstairs.
Up there through that glass. Right in the corner, on the corner post up high. We used to actually make it really jam in here. Anyway, unfortunately, those two are the only two made to hang. This other one for 20 volt, no hangers. So, this was an old piece of oak that we had. It was behind where this is. When we had a little refrigerator sitting here, it kept it from getting back too far. So it's going to sit on there. And I'm going to slip a piece of plumber's tape around it to hold it on there. Then I think we're going to do something like this, either this way or this way with these two others. But we still got to have the 18 volt, or they may just sit flat underneath. I don't know. The bad thing about them is when you go to take a battery out, they're never stuck to the ground. But I did find something on them. I didn't find anything in the DeWalt stuff about it, but see that hole? It goes clear through. What do you know? I think it's meant to be a drain hole for anything that gets stuck in there, but it's chamfered on this side. So I'm thinking, even if we put them down here, I'm going to put a screw in it. Why not? So that'll have a bunch of this crap cleaned up. And now that that speaker's not there, we got room for like 4 more of those little storage boxes. They're a pain in the ass, but they're handy, and you know, just what it is for storage. And she's trying to figure out how to rehang these things. They really need to find a different place than there, but that's where they are. You know? And I didn't bring you along for anything else. She cleaned up all the chaff in the big bale barn and fed bales. And let's see, she got rid of that box of garbage bags. We actually use the leaf bags in here because they fit the can, and usually we get it full. They're in the cabinet here now, and she had it out and cleaned it all up. Went through a bunch of junk in it. And yeah, it's still a freaking mess, but there's a bunch of stuff that's not here now. It's either in the garbage can or it's where it belongs. And what else? I don't remember. It's been a day. Both of us have been pretty much nonstop, as normal. And she's trying to hand me stuff. Where do I want these? Anybody need some old gate latches? I mean, they still come in handy for something once in a while. That's why they're in a... Hey, it's an old Best Foods mayonnaise. For any of you that are wondering, Best Foods is the West Coast version of, what is it? Starts with an H. My brain went dead. I could have said it, but hey, if you like good mayonnaise and you know what it is, you know what it is. Somebody in the comments will tell me. I do know, I just can't think of it. Got my helpers in here. There was one of those plastic boxes with, actually I think it's sitting on the bench, it is. Got some golf balls in it, a couple tennis balls, whatever else. So Rainey got her old tennis ball out. Now they all want to play with it. Thought I'd show you what I ended up doing. There it is. Nothing's lit up, it was turned off. There, now it's on. They're all charged anyway. They're just going to blink. Not that they need to, they're just trying to figure it out. So, get the earthquake out of the way. It's kind of nice. It's got 2 deals on the back, top and bottom. Stick it on, slide it on. This DeWalt, there's one on each corner at the top is all. They snapped on there pretty tight, so that's good. But this one had nothing, so there's the plumber's tape. A board underneath it that says rest on. And these two, look at that, it didn't come with it. If you can see it in there, I don't know if you can see it or not, because I can't see in there. There's a screw right down there. The hole was a little too tight for a sheetrock screw. the hole in the bottom part was big enough. It was a hole right in here that was too tight, just barely. I mean, somewhere there's a couple little tiny shavings because I ran a drill bit through it and opened it up just big enough. And the head of the screws were too big. So I took over to the grinder and I, see if I can show you here. Ground it down to about the edge of my thumbnail there. And they're in there, they're flush, they're not in the way. If they get something knocked in them, we can blow it out with the air. And that old cheapy light, that's over here because there's the charger for it. It's actually a pretty good light. You can't tell which. It's got a high and a low. You either get the center row of LEDs or the outside 2 rows. Magnet on the bottom of it. But it's here because it's rechargeable, and there's the charger, and there's one more plug-in, so. And I numbered them all, so you know if one screws up, which one you might have to unplug. Kind of just boom, 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 boom. And that metal deal was on top of the plastic ones, and it's like, nah. Fits underneath better. Things are out of the way better. Still too much room to throw shit, but this part was extended out because we had a little refrigerator that just fit in here. Wasn't very tall. And it was extended just for the refrigerator, but it works nice because there's more stuff stuffed underneath here than you care to guess. Actually, all of our fine thread bolts are underneath there, plus a few other things. So, oh yeah, and I had some little wire holders, so that's how the power wire is to it. Cuts across, it's up out of the way. Then number 1 went and stuck all my new connectors up here. I'll forget they're there when I'm looking for them. But there it is. And I don't know what else to tell you for the day other than the day's just about over. And look, there's a little bit of bench. There'll be more bench here in a little bit, I hope. And finish getting the mouse poop off of it. That board, little chunk of wood I put underneath that charger was about right behind where that light and charger is. That was to keep the little refrigerator from getting shoved back too close to the wall, so it had airspace behind it. Worked out all right. Bad thing is it's a good piece of oak. It was actually something we trimmed off. Made a chain guide or something. I don't remember now. But it was part we had to trim off, so that works for that. Well, anyway, hope y'all had a good Saturday. We've got absolutely no rain today. Actually, I shouldn't say that. When I was walking across the yard going to get lunch, you could feel sprinkles. You couldn't see anything, but you could feel them. And that's all we've had, so I imagine the creek's even lower. And yeah, there's a bunch of shit at the bridge, but one piece is, looking at it from up here, on the left side is standing up, just out of the flow. And the other piece is sitting on top of it and going to the other side of the creek. Neither one of them are in the way, so yeah, they can wait. I get their radiator patched up again and I'll run down and pluck those out, and there's a bunch of other shit that I saw too. And I haven't even been down there, so I know there's more. Do that when it's a little drier. Oh yeah, and if you look over on that fender, you see that fancy wire roll thing I made that doesn't work very well, but at least it holds the wires. I still don't know where to put that. I mean, it'd be better if those were actually on spools, but I'm not gonna sit here and wind them onto a spool. Not by hand anyway. If I had a few extra empty spools, which I used to have some, but I think they've all gotten tossed, I just took them to a frickin' drill and run the stuff on. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.